It has been a little while since we have talked about an offensive lineman, but I'm going to say the same thing that I say in the beginning of each video that I talk about involving an offensive line player. This offensive line class is so deep and extremely talented. There are so many players in this class who I think can easily be day one starters at the NFL level and can be impact players immediately. One guy who has had a lot of people's attention since last year is BYU offensive tackle Kingsley Suamataia, a player who started his career at right tackle, played left tackle for the Cougars last season, and is arguably the most athletic tackle in the entire draft class. How high will Kingsley hear his name called? But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment and let me know which players you guys would like to see me break down in a future video, and without further ado, let's get into it. Kingsley Suamataia started his collegiate career at Oregon. It didn't end up working for him there, so he transferred over to BYU, playing on the opposite side of Blake Freeland. He was the right tackle for the Cougars last year and had a pretty productive season. He allowed 8 hurries, 3 hits, and 0 sacks on the year, and had a lot of buzz entering 2023. Entering this season, BYU decided to switch Kingsley's position and play him at the left tackle spot. He started off slow, but he finished the year off decent. He finished with 7 hurries, 6 hits, and 2 sacks on the season, and has some buzz entering the draft. In case you haven't gotten the memo yet, Suamataia is an extremely versatile offensive line prospect. He obviously split snaps at both the left and the right tackle positions, which is super intriguing in and of itself, but at the Senior Bowl, they had him listed as a guard, and he took some snaps from the interior. It seems like he may be able to play all 5 positions on the offensive line, and that is something that teams are going to fall in love with. Kingsley also has some pretty good size at the tackle position. He is 6'4", 329 pounds, which is a solid frame overall. He is tall, but he also has really big hands and great length on the outside as well. He leverages his hands very nicely, and he plays actively and does a very nice job in terms of his hand placement in pass protection. He also plays with very solid balance and has good upper body strength. Athletically, Suamataia is very impressive. He is an excellent mover for his size, and he has very good lateral quickness. He pulls very quickly in the run game, and he gets to the second level very nicely. This is why many people may think he could translate better to a guard at the next level. He has the quickness in the run game to get to the second level and help clear run lanes. Playing in a heavy RPO system that BYU ran, we've seen him in the run game, and he's a very good run blocker and really good on screens. He has upside in both pass and run blocking that is really intriguing. Kingsley Suamataia has a few areas that I am not super impressed with. For one, he has the tendency to play with high pads. He is not able to generate the same power, but it leads to another issue, and he just gets flat-footed in pass protection. There were numerous instances where he lost a step on the outside, and he did have the tendency to struggle against quicker pass rushers. This is something I would like to see him improve on. When he got beat, he had the tendency to lunge and get grabby, and it led to penalties, which is obviously not ideal. Another area I noticed was he really seemed to get confused against stunts and blitzes. He continuously would pick up the wrong guy, miss his assignment altogether, and it led to the quarterback getting pressured, or even worse, sacked. I think he needs to do a better job at play recognizing, especially on these stunt plays, and knowing which assignment is his. Suamataia offers a lot athletically, but there are still some concerns with his technique and his pad height. He has a lot of upside, and he's still only 21 years old. He is my number 10 offensive tackle in the draft. He is a great player, but this is such a deep offensive line class, I think he may be a bit towards the bottom of my top 10. That being said, he is still my number 51 overall player in the draft. BYU ran a heavy RPO offense, and we got to see a lot of Kingsley's strengths in that area in terms of his run blocking and his ability to move. I think that's where he should play at the next level. Whether it is at tackle or at guard, his athleticism to help get into the second level and clear run lanes is the most impressive part of his game in my opinion, and I think this is where he is going to translate best at the NFL level. Bleacher Report helped me with this comp yet again, but Austin Jackson is my comparison for Kingsley. Both have very similar sizes at the offensive tackle position, have versatility on the offensive line, and are very good athletes. Jackson has not necessarily lived up to all the hype he had when he was drafted, but he did have a better season in 2023. Both can get a little grabby and deal with penalties from time to time, but I think Kingsley can be a better player than what Austin Jackson has been, but in terms of play style, I think they are very similar. Kingsley Suamataia is a surefire starter at the next level. He can play all 5 positions, and he has some elite athleticism on the O-line. He has some work to do in his technique, but ultimately, I believe that Kingsley Suamataia will be a second-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.